Alright, in this video I'll talk to you about my daughter. She finally started talking to me yesterday. What happened was we got locked out of the main part of the house over there. So she had to spend a couple of hours here. Couldn't get away from me. She says that before you have children, you should save up at least $5,000. One. Two, we're supposed to be going on vacation every 2 years, and we don't go anywhere. Three, I don't even have a job. These were complaints. Four, I don't show up to her trophy ceremonies from the schools that she goes to. And I told her, well, that one, I don't show up because I want to homeschool you. I want to teach you about my religion, Christianity. I want to teach you about self-defense. You don't like Tai Chi Chuan? Something else, but Tiger Claw, something. And well, I don't go to the school because I don't care if you have a trophy or 10 medals. They're useless. Instead of giving you medals, they should give you $10. Something that you can use. Or at least pick out 2 books, you know. Do you want this one? Do you want that one? So whatever you're learning at school, public schools, elementary, middle, high school, I see them as after first grade, useless. All right, because first grade you learn to read. After that, they're useless. Fractions. I have not had to add any fractions in my adult life. All right. So that's what I think about fractions and decimals and percentages. Now I do know those things, but you don't need to go to school for that. Just go to Khan Academy in today's society. Khan Academy, and you climb up. You achieve it. I believe that schools should exist, but that they should also teach you, one, if you don't want to talk about religion, then at least the highest written document, I think, is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Without getting into the Bible, I'm talking about a spirit of brotherhood and everybody is equal, no discrimination. Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Article 13. Everyone has the right to leave his or her country and to return to his or her country. All right, doesn't talk about visas. And then Eleanor Roosevelt, she got this thing passed, and it says that these human rights should be taught in every school. And I don't know of any schools that teach them. I didn't see them. My grandpa told me to read them when about 20 years ago, or when I was 20. 21, 22. And I finally got around to doing it when I was 40. And yo, there's something in there for everybody. All right. So it talks about marriage. You have the right to get married when you're of legal age. It doesn't say it's 18, but whenever you're of legal age. You have the right to start a family. You have the right to $50% of your children with time in a divorce. All right, so that would be one thing. The second things I would recommend a school: carpentry, electricity, computers. What else? Plumbing, mechanics for cars, airplanes. That's a school, because it's been proven. I saw a documentary about a British school that the students that were there were the students that didn't want to learn. But this school was special because they taught them carpentry, plumbing, electricity, welding. And the worst students, right, became excited with their education. And then the director said, even if these students only make it 1 year in here, they will have skills that will last them a lifetime. That's the kind of school. Because cooking, that's another one. I want my children to succeed where I failed. And I got all of these trophies on the wall. They're useless. Back then when I went, they just gave you a piece of paper. 100% attendance, 100% effort, first place, this. It's useless. I was homeless, all right? All of that is useless. President of my class, we did talk about that. She said, nobody wants to run as president of the class. That's how I got elected. Nobody ran against me. All right. There's a position for everybody in this world. And I want my children to succeed. So I told the daughter that all these things that she wants, traveling, money, and etc., I agree with her. I want those things. But traveling with a 2-year-old is tough. 3, 4, 5. 5 years they get dressed and everything, but 2-year-olds would be tough. So that's why I haven't traveled anywhere. That's one. And two, with this spouse arguing on the way to Walmart, on the way back in Walmart, it's no fun traveling. I mean, I'm the only one here that is motivated to learn something. That all they want to do is just watch TV. So I tell them, you must learn to earn money. Learn about God. And then even in the Bible, it says something about the craftsman will work in front of kings. Whatever skill you get, plumbing, electricity, it is useful. And that's what I want to homeschool my children. That's the reason why I want to do it. I want to teach them something useful. How to read people, personalities. Danger, safe. You got to be able to do those things. And then just avoid several places. Like, I would say all indoor family get-togethers. Avoid them. If you want to have a birthday party, make it at the park. Show up. Watch your kids. Because even when I'm with other relatives, right, and I go to the park, I see their mistakes. You know, throwing the baby up in the air and catching it. All right, now that one I didn't catch him doing it. A lady walked over to me and said, "Is that the boy's father?" And then I said, "Yes. What's wrong?" And then he's throwing him up in the air. And I'm like, "Oh!" And then she left. So then I told him about it, and he was like, "What? Oh!" And I told him, you know, in today's society, we go to parenting classes, but there aren't any parenting classes. I didn't find any. Go to childcare classes, and there they will tell you, don't do this, don't do that. Even if the baby's laughing, don't throw him up in the air. Now, I did go up to another man that was swinging his daughter, you know, by the wrists all the way around. And he said, she'll be all right. Now, so I just mind my own business, I guess. No, I don't mind my own business. I did go up to a father. Now, he was working in the soccer field and he's running with the golf cart, and his kid, 4 years old, 3 years old, is running after him, and the dad is making the kid cry because the kid is going, don't leave me, don't leave me, wait, wait. So I ran up to the dad and I told him, don't do that. No, I didn't say that. I told the kid, he's not going to leave you. He's not going to leave you. And I ran across the field to tell the kid that he's not going to leave you. He's just playing with you. He's not going to leave you. He's just playing with you. Then the dad looked at me. And then I wanted to tell the dad, but I didn't think of it at the moment. But if I would see him again, doing it again, I would tell him this time because I'm prepared. I would tell him, don't do that or your son is going to be scared. And then when he's 40 years old, he's going to live with his mother like I do. And he's going to have a yelling spouse. Now, my spouse stopped yelling finally, but that's only because I stopped bothering her, all right? I used to play these games. What sort of games? Well, I used to crush the Doritos. You know, she buys Doritos and I don't want Doritos, so I used to crush the bag. So she would hide them in the room and the kids would eat it in the closet. Now, what kind of a family does that, huh? Then I told her, don't buy these juices. They have so much sugar. But the spouse doesn't listen, doesn't change. She says she will. I was laughing because I saw a YouTube video about a therapist, and she said that verbal abuse, and then she said this video is for men or for women about men, because not that men are the only ones that yell in the relationship, but what happens is in all her years of practice she has seen men change. They stopped yelling. But she said, women that yell have never stopped yelling. So I might be the first man to accomplish something, you know? The spouse is going to stop yelling at me. All right, daughter, so you want me to do wonderful things for this family. And I told you, I withdrew my love. I checked out of this family. I mean, the only one that I spend time with is my son. And then she walked in here yesterday and she said, where do I sit? Now, it's in the afternoons, all right? It's very hot in Florida, so that's why we're all... Even I had an argument with my son. He was walking too slow and I was late or something. So, the other day. So, when it's hot, we get upset with each other. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my shirt and then walk around with, oh, I'm also going to make a milkshake or something while I walk around. But this daughter, she arrived here and she said, where am I going to sit? And I told her, there's a chair right there. And she already had put her book bag there. And I said, you could sit on my bed. So she came to sit right here where I'm at, and I said, excuse me, I'm going to sit there. You can sit in that corner over there. And she said, And she went and sat on my son's bed. And I said, don't sit on his bed. And I told her, son, don't let her sit on your bed. But then you decide what you're going to do. Because remember how when you sit on her bed or you're sleeping and you go cuddle on my daughter's bed, you know, they want to sleep together sometimes. Then and with their mom too. So she says, I don't want him here. So well, now it's your chance. And he said, no, she can sit on my bed if she wants to. And then my son jumped on my shoulder over here. And my son and I had a fun time. But the only reason I'm so tough with the daughter is because she's been very disrespectful. Her behavior has been horrible. Not practicing Tai Chi, not reading the Bible, not talking to me, not spending any time with us, not eating dinner with us, all in her room. What else? Talking back. What's an example of talking back? Well, I recorded her 10 minutes, and then my son wanted to play. I'd love to have recorded the whole 3 hours she was in my room here yesterday. Because we talked about, I told her, look, if you don't want to do push-ups, that's fine. Don't do push-ups. I don't like doing push-ups, but do something else. You know, catch a medicine ball that weighs 5 pounds or 10 pounds or something. Do something. So, life is better. At least my daughter and I are talking. She wouldn't let me hug her and give her a kiss goodnight yesterday. And I skip a couple of nights because I'm not going to go to her room to give her a kiss. You know. Because when I'm inside of that part of the house, it's in danger. Well, I do have my sombrero. And the way I remind myself that I'm not home is I keep my sombrero on while I'm eating lunch over there or dinner. And then the spouse says, take that off. And then one time she took it off me and I told her, don't undress me in front of the children. And she said, I'm not undressing you. No, I didn't laugh. Don't undress me in front of the children. And she's, I'm not undressing you. I mean, right now I could laugh because, you know, maybe one day she'll see these videos. I doubt it. She doesn't sit down. All right, so that's about my daughter. A little bit about the spouse. She's exhausted. She's exhausted. But finally, she thinks about things just like I do. Back when we had $100,000, I had plans for that money. And I wouldn't mind losing it. I don't mind if she had her other plans. What I mind is that she did not allow my input. And I tell her, if God put us together and we have children and we both want to be good parents, then let us both put our heads together and I say this, you say that, then let's find the ground in the middle and do something. Not just lose the $100,000 because she bought this house and that was it. Because when I saw those $100,000, I made a promise. I was not going to work again. No, it's not necessary. For some people in the beginning, it might be necessary. But the way I look at it, there is a conspiracy. If Tesla or somebody else could make electricity out of thin air and give it to everybody, then we should all be in luxury right now. Even if the only luxury would be air conditioning without a bill. You know, that's a big luxury. Is it a coincidence that public schools don't teach children how to earn money and how to, by being electricians or plumbers? And then when you're 18 years old, you got to take out a $30,000 loan, student loan, so you could go learn how to fix cars? Why didn't they do that when you were 5, 10, at least 10 years old? Huh? there is a conspiracy. The kings of this world, or the leaders of this world, they're making sure that the population is hand to mouth, which means they work a little job and they can barely put food on the table, and that's it. They're struggling. I mean, I'm on food stamps, not legally. I mean, not legally in my name, it's in the spouse's name. Even that is discrimination against men. They give it to the women, not to the men, the food stamps. I'm grateful for the food stamps. However, the government could do more. Like, there are other countries. Why is Singapore math famous? And by the way, Singapore math was discovered in the United States. The study of these teachers, whoever developed it, right? And now it's known as Singapore math, but they studied the teachers in the United States and then took it back to Singapore and applied it. And that's how the Singapore students perform better in math than the United States students. Who doesn't beat the United States? How about that? In math. All right, talk to you later. Enjoy your life.